A proportion is two equal ratios. So a proportion looks like this: A over B equals C over D. A ratio is just dividing two numbers. Sometimes you can write a ratio like this: A is to B, or you can write it as a fraction, or A to B. So a proportion is two equal ratios. So to solve for x within a proportion, what you can do is you can cross multiply. So what that means is you can diagonally multiply 3 times x and set that equal to 5 times 12. So that's 3x equals 60, or x equals 20. That's one way you can do it. Okay, another way you can do it algebraically is, I'm going to probably stick with cross multiplying though, but if you have 3/12, what you can do is you're essentially trying to get x out of the denominator. So let's multiply both sides by x. That's going to get it out of the denominator. So you're going to have, this cancels out, and you're going to have 5 equals 3x, because the x is in the numerator, divided by 12. And then you're going to get rid of the 3/12 by multiplying both sides by 12/3. Which 12 times 5 is 60, divided by 3 is 20. So it's the same thing. So I think of it quicker as just cross multiplying. Okay, this is a situation when you can use cross multiplying. A 14-ounce box of Raisin Bran has 3 ounces of raisins. How many raisins are in a 24-ounce box? So when you're putting the raisins into Raisin Bran, the raisins are going to be proportional. That means that the amount in a 14-ounce box is going to be in proportion, or the ratio is going to be the same as the amount of raisins in a 24-ounce box. So I'm going to do 14 over 3 equals, so the question is how many raisins, so that's going to be my variable. So because I have raisins in the denominator in this one, I'm going to put raisins in the bottom over here. So on the top I have ounces of cereal. So now to solve for r, I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to do 14 times r equals 3 times 74. Or 3 times 24, sorry, which is 72. So I divide both sides by 14, and I get a long decimal 5, 142857, 142857. It's a repeating decimal. I don't want to answer raisins equals 5.12857. I'm going to answer it raisins is approximately equal to 5.1 ounces. So I'm rounding, so I want to use this approximate symbol. Remember, whenever you round, you want to approximate. So the proportion is two ratios that are equal. A rate is comparing two different units. So you can compare costs in ounce, you can compare meters a second, number of apples eaten in a minute, anything that's two different rates or units. So example 1, hair grows at a rate of 2.45 millimeters per week. So see how there's two different units. You have millimeters in a week. Find the millimeters in a day. So I'm going to write 2.45 millimeters in 1 week. And at the end I want to have millimeters per day. So this is called unit analysis when you're rewriting one rate as another. It's really important in the sciences too. So what I want to do is I'm looking at my numerator and I have millimeters and millimeters. So these two, I don't need to do anything with the 2.45. I still have millimeters and millimeters. But here I have a week and then a day. So how do I convert from a week to a day? So I want to get rid of the week. So in order to cancel out the week, I'm going to put a week in the numerator. So algebraically, these 2 weeks are going to cancel out. And I want to add day right here because I want to have day in my denominator as my answer. So in order to go from, I have to add numbers, I have to have some type of comparison between a week and a day. So there's 7 days in 1 week. So in the end, the weeks cancel out, the ones cancel out, and I'm left with 2.45 divided by 7 as my number, millimeters per day. So I'm going to calculate 2.45 divided by 7, and I get 0.35. So the answer is 0.35 millimeters per day. Now I understand that some people would see that right away, just, oh, divide by 7, we're converting it. But I'm just showing you later on when you have to do multiple unit conversions, it's really helpful to understand how this works algebraically. Number 2, a sloth travels 0.15 miles per hour. So I'm going to write 0.15 miles per hour. Convert to feet per minute. So at the end, I want to have feet per minute. So this time I'm dropping off a miles and adding a feet. So I want to get rid of the miles. So I'm going to put miles in the denominator, and then I'm going to add the feet in the numerator. And then I'm getting rid of hours and adding minutes. So because hours is in the denominator, I need to add hours to the numerator and add minutes to the denominator. Now I need to fill in the numbers. So what is the conversion with feet and mile? How many feet are in a mile? It's 5,280. And then how many hours are in, or minutes are in an hour? 60. So my units, hours, are going to cancel out right here. Miles, and I'm going to be left with feet per minute, and I have to multiply 0.15 times 528, I'm going to write this out, so 0.15 times 5,280 all over 60. So 0.15 times 5,280 divided by 60 is 13.2 feet per minute. Okay, and the last thing we have is what's called a unit rate. So a unit rate compares 2 units. So compares 2 units, but the denominator is 1. But the denominator is 1. So example 1, find the unit rate if a dozen cookies cost $3.75. So whenever you're doing a unit rate, you always want to write cost in the numerator. So it's going to be 3.75, but we're talking about a dozen cookies. So we want to know the cost per cookie. So in order to get this to be 1, I need to divide 3.75 divided by 12. And I get 0.3125. But I want to round it. We're talking about money, so I'm just going to round it to 31 cents. So I'm going to write 31, but I need to write the unit, which is cost. I already have my money symbol. I'm going to write my money symbol. Cost per cookie. So it costs 31 cents a cookie. Now I round it, so I want to put approximately. Find the price of a rose if a florist sells 2 dozen roses for $24.60. So $24.60 is the cost, but it's 2 dozen, so that's going to be 24. So I'm going to take $24.60 and divide it by 24, and I get 1.025. So again, we're talking about money, so I want to round to two decimals right here. So it's going to be $1.03 per rose. You can either write out per, or you can use this backslash symbol or forward slash symbol for division. Okay, a few more. So we have we have a portion, which is two ratios that are equal. I'm going to cross multiply right here. So I'm going to have 10x equals, now this, you have to be careful when you're multiplying 5, that you multiply 5 by each thing. So I'm going to write 5 on the outside and write a parentheses. So this is going to be 10x equals 5x plus 20. Subtract 5x. So 5x equals 20. X equals 4 is my answer. And then B, in 2000, Lance Armstrong completed the 3,630 kilometer Tour de France course in 92.5 hours. How long would it take him to ride 295 kilometers? So if he kept the same speed, if the speed was proportional, no matter how many hours he rode. So I'm going to set up proportion 3630 over 92.5 equals, now since kilometers are on the top right here, I want to write kilometers on the top right here. So it's going to be 295 over x. So I'm going to cross multiply. So 295 times 92.5. If I multiply these two, I get 27287.5 equals 3630x. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3630. And I get approximately, because I'm rounding, 7.5 hours. And then the last question, convert 1 mile 6 minutes. So 1 into miles per hour. 1 mile 6 minutes. And I want to convert to miles per hour. So I have miles the same, so that's good, but I'm converting minutes to hours. So I want to lose the minutes and gain the hour. And there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So what's going to happen are these minutes going to cancel out, and I'm going to be left with 1 times 60 divided by 6 times 1. So 60 over 6, which reduces to 10 miles per hour.